looking at this bracket here, we have x minus 7 into x minus 7. Another problem. This time round, instead of there being a positive and a positive, we have a negative and a negative inside our bracket. So therefore, we still do what? Two brackets multiply two brackets together, combined like this means multiplication. So we apply distributive law considering sign, number, letter. So x times x, obviously we know that that is x squared, because obviously we multiply the sign. Positive times a positive is positive. 1 times 1, the coefficient of x is 1, and then x times x, the letter, we keep the base, we add the exponent. Remember, there's an invisible 1 exponent, invisible 1 exponent. 1 plus 1 is 2, so that's why we have x squared. Then we multiply x and a negative 3. Positive times a negative, negative. 1 times 3 is 3. Remember, there's an invisible 1, that's why you say 1 times 3. Then x combined with the number. Then inner terms, negative times a positive, negative. 7 times 1, 7. X next door combined. Then last terms, negative times a negative, negative times a negative, positive. 7 times 3, 21. There's no letter, so we don't deal with such. Then we add the like terms. Negative 3x minus 7x are obviously like terms because the variables, they are the same with the same exponent, because that's what qualifies like terms. So we keep the variable x, then we add and subtract the coefficient. Negative 3 minus 7 gives us negative 10. Very important. Use your calculator if you don't know, so that you can be sure about the addition or subtraction of those like terms. Plus 21. There are no further like terms, so we leave our answer as x squared minus 10x plus 21. Moving right along. So what you should then observe is that when the signs are the same inside the bracket, you can see this. When the signs are the same inside the bracket, our answer for the constant last term will be positive. All right? Because obviously a positive and a positive gives us a positive for the outside term. Look at this as well. The signs are the same inside the bracket, and negative times a negative gives us a positive last term. So it seems like every time we have the same signs inside the bracket, we get a positive last term, which is something that is beautiful to note. All right, then look at the middle term. Okay, because we had a positive and a positive, our middle term is positive as well. Because we had a negative and a negative, our middle term is also negative. Now, this is something very, very important to note, that because we had a positive and a positive, our last term, the product of two positive things will give us a positive. The product of two negative things will give us a positive. In other words, the product of same signs gives us a positive number for our constant term. But the addition, all right, of two positive things for our middle term gives us a positive, whereas the addition of two negative things gives us a negative middle term. And that's something very important to note, especially as we'll be looking at something called a new concept called factorization later on. We need to be very aware of what we have just observed.